friends, welcome back to another episode of Thank You for Nail Tech. That'll be me. For this episode, we're about to get into some shaping, some prep, and application and filing. This will be a tutorial on short nails. So if you've been wondering, here it is. I've done this several times before, but for some reason, we got some people that ain't checked into the headquarters, and that's okay. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make it work. If you haven't already, go and watch my previous vlog, but it's the last vlog, the shaping tutorial, duck nail, stiletto, and square. Go and watch that. It has some good stuff in there, some good pointers, just in case you're wondering. I hope somehow, some way, somehow, whatever, this is helping somebody out somewhere. I've done this 100 times over, but like I said, we're going to get into it. This is the 101 time that I've done this, but let's make it happen. So, to prep nails, you need to do it on this little practice swatch. Using a 120 bit. I only use a mandrel and a sanding band only. Okay, I didn't need for that to get stuck. But this drill is Air C. And it does not come with numbers, because I know when I say that, somebody's going to be like, what? What you mean? Yes, that is. It don't come with numbers, so I can't tell you what speed is that. I just listen for the motor, and the motor will tell me how fast I'm going. I'm going to treat this like this is a natural nail. Our natural nails produce shine. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Our natural nails already naturally produce oil. So I'm just going to treat this as if this was a live hand and I'm doing this on somebody. This is a light speed. I'm just going to go in, lightly remove shine. I'm going to treat this upper area like it's the cuticle. Just going to lightly go around. Natural nail shine is removed. This is going to help a tip stick. And this is going to help your, I'll use acrylic. This is going to help your acrylic adhere better to the nail. I'm going to add a tip. So I'm really ready for application. The acrylic that I personally use, Mia's Secret Cover Nude Blush. This is on Amazon. The liquid that I use is not linked to my Amazon storefront. I do still buy that locally out of the beauty supply store. Yeah, for anybody who don't know, I was wondering. Mia's Secret is the acrylic powder. Acrylic liquid is Super Nail, and I still buy that locally out of the beauty supply store near me. So I have my liquid. I only put a little bit because we ain't doing much with it. My brush size is number 12. It is Seveland. Number 12 is linked to my Amazon storefront on my social medias. I just want to go in here. This is how you get a perfect bead. You don't need it dripping like that. You want to go in the dish, whatever dish you have. This bowl is a saucer from my mama's kitchen. Am I saying steal the saucer from your mama's kitchen? I ain't saying that at all. But this saucer done made me a bag, so we're going to use it. To get the perfect consistency, just my personal method. I ain't saying it's the best, but it's just how I do it over here at the headquarters. You don't want it dripping like this because this ain't gonna do nothing but give you a runny bead. Now you gotta chase the bead and yeah, no. What I do is I go in, warm my brush up. I already have my brush dry to where it's kind of flat. I just like a flat brush. Go in my liquid. I'm going to tap just a little bit. It's not dripping at all. That's what you want. I'm going to go in my powder. You may have to tap it once or twice. You tap it once and it's still dripping, tap it again. Maybe 3 times. Go in my powder. I don't want to drag. I just want to tap into the powder. It's just a tapping motion. Perfect bead. It's not running. It's kind of sitting there, sitting still, but it's ready to be placed. Perfect. That is my method on how to pick up a correct bead and all that good stuff. I work in thicker beads. You don't have to do that. I'm not saying that works, My word ain't your world. But I do work in thicker beads because I hate for a nail to chip. Like, oh, my nail chip. No, it couldn't have because I work with thick beads. But not too bulky, but just enough. This is probably the right bead for a short nail. How many times you tap into the powder would depend on how big the bead will pick up. I tapped twice, just a little bit. It picked up this. I tapped about 3-4 times. This is how much we got on the brush. That's good for like a short medium, but I'm using short, so it's probably gonna be less than that. But yeah, that's that. So here's my nails all prepped and ready. Well, wait, no, it's not. Taking my primer, No Lift Nail Primer on Amazon is the primer that I use. I'm gonna take my primer, go across the nail, boom. It's ready. Now it's ready for application. Same method I just showed y'all. I kind of want a thicker bead, but not too much. This is the right consistency. I'm going to dry it off just a little bit on the napkin. I like to place my beads right before the cuticle. Not at the cuticle and not on it. Just right before my first bead. I like to work in 1.5. And it's not running. It ain't doing too much. It's just kind of sitting there. Room temperature is about 75 degrees. Not too cold, not too hot. I was able to do perfect application. It wasn't running. None of that. Just right. I'm going to pull that off because I like to have a straight edge. That's perfect. You barely need a file for this. It's not flat. You see that? It's not flat. This ain't flat to the nail bed. It got some structure. You barely need a nail file for this. Looks good. Cuticle bead. We're going to treat that little top part like it's the cuticle. I'm just going to take a light amount. Key points. It has structure and it's molded correctly. You have to work on your application and your filing. That is the only way your designs, retention, all of it is going to be good. Your prep, application, and your filing. Forget the designs first. If your structure ain't right, designs is whack. Real whack. So you have got to work on this before you work on this. This before this. This before this. Period. Another tip for y'all. Let's just act like we prepped this one. I didn't prep it, but let's just act like we did. Just go in my liquid. Tap, tap. It's not dripping. This is what I want. It only did that because I shook it, but it's not dripping. Just coming out the liquid dripping, and I'm finna go and get it in the powder. That ain't gonna do nothing but have it runny. You can't work with that. Can't work with that at all. So, liquid. It's enough on the brush. The brush is not too dry, not too wet. Perfect bead. And once I place my bead, I go back in my liquid, kind of drain it just a little bit. Tap. I'm using a Bounty paper towel. It just works better for me here at the headquarters. Just gonna kind of pull lightly. You don't want to be dragging. You ain't Picasso. Just lightly pulling at it. You want to still give it structure, because if you pull at it too hard, you lose your structure up here. Lightly pull. I'm gonna just cap the end. And that's just how I do. Got a little structure. Got a little apex going on. I'm gonna go back in with another bead. My cuticle bead, we're gonna have it structured a little bit. I'm gonna let that sit. Grab my brush. Lightly pull at it. I don't want to lose the structure, so I'm just lightly pulling at the bead. It has structure. Both of the tips have structure. Both of them. This is good. Let's put a foul to it. To clean my brush, I just use pure acetone. I'm over here dipping it in this bowl. Pure acetone, take it to my paper towel, let it dry. I can look at it and tell if it still needs to be cleaned or not. The bristles look good. It don't look like anything is left over in there. Boom. So I think I'm gonna let that dry. I let it dry flat, just like this. I'm gonna let that dry. That's my method. Does this work? I don't know. It does wonders here at the headquarters. The brand is Super Nail. Pure acetone is my method. That may not be your method, and that's okay. That is. So the nails have dried. Now on a regular hand, you would have probably did all 10 fingers, and then all the nails dry. It's time for you to file because everything is set in. The nails have dried. This one is more drier than this one. It's still kind of fresh, so we're gonna let that sit right there. It's ready for a file. It's ready. It's hard. It's ready. Color that I use is Kiss 100, 180. Just gonna open this. I use a hand file and e-file combo. Yes, I have e-file. E-file is much better. It's quicker, but I also need that hand file. That way I can monitor. The quicker you go and you're not e-file educated, it's going to be bad. So you best to have control. This is control. E-file can't really control it. It's spinning. It's, going at a certain speed. Can't really control. But this, I can file the size up and eyeball and be like, okay, I need to probably go in a little bit more over here, go in over there. I need to hit that front. Hold on. I need to hit that front. Okay, I can eyeball it. E-file, and you uneducated on how to work the e-file and you new to it, bad business. Bad business. So with the hand file, it's a little bit more controlled. E-file, you really got to be educated on that. For real. Especially if you're a beginner. Because too fast, too bad. But when you can eyeball it and you can look and tell, like, okay, that's how I need a little 1-2. Underneath need a little 1-2. This need a little 1-2. The structure needs a little 1-2. You in the game. I'm going to hit that front. We're going to file it up, but it barely needs a file. Barely. But, yeah, that's that. After application, I have a case full of beads. Sanding bands. I said beads, my bad. Sanding bands. After application, 240 is the grit. 240 is very smooth. There's no coarseness. There's no roughness. 240 is smooth. It's like on a mid speed right now. I like to go underneath. Hold on. It's like mid. I'm gonna just hit the front. And I'm gonna hit underneath. Gotta file just enough. I don't want to lose my structure. Hold on, let me cut this down. I don't want to lose my structure. I'm just showing y'all all the details. No clipping, no cutting. Still got a structure. And the structure is just how it's laying. It's not too flat. I didn't file too much. And it looks good. It looks great, actually. I'm gonna hit the sides up just a little bit. gonna treat this as the cuticle area. Just gonna go around here as if this was a live hand. That looks good. Your eyeballs and your hand gonna play a crucial piece into how everything looking every time. You just doing stuff, you ain't even watching what you're doing. Please eyeball it. Eyeball your shape. That looks good. We could put a French tip. A French tip would lay nicely over this. Very nice. Love it. After I get done filing personally, I just go in and I spray 70% alcohol over the nail structure. Clean the nail structure off. French tip ready. And to show y'all that, just in case you're new to my headquarters and you don't know how to do that, we're gonna do it right here. It's 2 lines. You make them come together, make them love each other, make them meet in the middle. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this. There's 2 lines, make them come together, make them love each other, make them meet in the middle. This brush that I'm using was donated to me. I do not have whereabouts or where it came from, but it's working wonders here at the headquarters, and I love that. But there is brushes linked to my Amazon storefront that are good. So, cousins, I thank you all for checking in. It was very short, but I hope somehow, some way, somewhere, this helped somebody out along the way. And just in case you were struggling, here is your full tutorial, your free full tutorial, broke down for you, done for you right here. Short nails, broken down, all of that, the ins and outs, the 1-2 of how we do it here at the headquarters. And you also got a free French tip tutorial. So, yeah, take that and run with it. I want to thank you all for tuning in. I love each and every one of y'all. Like I said, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so I can continue to put out more good content like this, your free tutorials, on how some of this stuff works, just in case you was wondering. If you love me and love what I do, make sure you follow me on all other platforms. Leave a heart for this video so I can continue to reach more people. And thank y'all for tuning in.